Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. We have a crazy-ass show for you. Every one of these Robert Rozier ones are going to get crazier and crazier. We're going to have murders. It's going to get wild. So buckle up. The last episode 1 was nuts. We were done with, it was like, 7 minutes of sports maybe in the entire thing? And now he's done with sports. Now it's just all debauchery.
He'll never play again.
Cult shit and insanity. So we'll get into all that and more. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for Small Town Murder live shows. Get all your merch. We have new shirts up. We have the Church of the Octopus shirt that we have put up, and also the Stupidest Cyclical shirt, which is a very cool design too. So
it really is.
It's really cool. Some new stuff up there. Shutupandgivememurder.com. And of course, get your tickets for Milwaukee and Minneapolis in September for Small Town Murder and all that good stuff. But you really want to get Patreon. I'm telling you. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. All you got to be is $5 a month or above, and you get so much. First of all, you get everything we put out. You're going to get, as soon as you subscribe, it's like a whole other feed of a whole other show to binge on. Right. You're going to get, it's almost 400 back bonus episodes you've never heard before. Yeah. Just right away. Then you get new ones every other week, 1 Crime in Sports and 1 Small Town Murder, and you get them all. Just take them. Take it all.
Yeah.
And there's more that we'll get to. But so this week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to go back to the theme parks, everybody.
Great.
Another theme park disaster episode. Got to do 1 or 2 of those a year. They're just a lot of fun. So many bodies. So much to just crush dreams and bodies and legs in the wake of the monorail. That's how it works. And then for Small Town Murder, there is a poll up on Patreon. It is a viewer's choice. Either way, we'll do the next one next time, and then it'll be Prisoner Dating Game after that. So good stuff coming. But either we're going to talk about the Crash documentary, which is that Mackenzie Shirilla mess where she, killed the 2 guys in the car. Yeah. Awful. Or we're going to do Corey Richins Part 3, talk about her sentencing and all the new stuff that came out about sentencing, about how much she lied to begin with. And I've seen stuff where they talk to the jurors, so we're going to talk about that, how they didn't buy her horse shit. It's amazing. Yeah. It's up to you, though. Viewer's choice, or listener's choice, I guess, at this point. So check that out. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. Now, that's not all you get. You also get every show we put out, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and Small Town Murder, all ad-free with that Patreon. Ad-free. And on top of that, you also get a shout-out at the end of the show where Jimmie will try his best to get your name correct, but, no promises. You know what I mean? He'll say something that is supposed to represent your name.
There'll be words.
And you'll get it. We'll put it that way. So that said, let's get to it. Let's dive right back in here because we are in the middle of Robert Rozier and in the middle of him being in this cult, the Yahweh cult, with this crazy Mitchell lunatic. Yeah. That is a lunatic. He really is. And one of the things here, and this is you kind of have to have this in a cult. You can't have free thinking in a cult.
No.
Because someone will question something and then,
Yeah, questions are no good for a cult.
No. Other people will go, hey, I never thought of that. And then things fall apart. So the leader needs to keep everybody the fuck shut up, essentially, and on their path. And there's punishments for, if you are a, quote, betrayer, as they call them.
Weed it out, yeah.
Yep. No matter how crazy the teachings got, no one would dare to speak up because if you did, you're fucked. Because according to the Temple of Love, which is where we are here, he's the son of God, Mitchell. So Yahweh, if you're Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, you're the son of God, you can't be questioned, obviously. No. So if you did defy him, basically they would publicly, in front of the whole group, do shit to you. In one case, a grown man, was made to bend over over a chair as all the women took turns paddling him. Which,
all right.
That could, he could have came if he was into that. You know what I mean?
I've heard of worse things for sure.
I don't know how badly the paddling was. Another case, a teenage girl, and this is not good, was forced to strip her shirt and bra off, which right away, I don't like that.
Don't like it.
And Mitchell whipped her back.
Jesus.
That's not a paddling. That's a whipping. That's crazy. And if you disagreed with him generally, you were called a blasphemer or an Uncle Tom as well.
Oh, because those correlate.
Yeah, in this one, to him, wow. He had a circle of 10.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the security force here.
Yeah.
And they
Wasn't
keep
it 12 disciples?
No, circle of 10 for this one. Okay, different thing. Yeah. We're not, I mean, Jesus had his thing, but I have my thing. That's what he's saying. It's different. Kept a close watch on people, and they're the security team. They look for dissension in the ranks, and they tell. They're now carrying around machetes and clubs around also.
Ooh, and we're armed.
Which seems excessive, and practicing marching drills in front of the temple to freak out the locals, basically.
Yeah.
So there are a small group of dissenters, though. As in any cult, there's a small group that find each other and hope that no one tells, basically.
Yeah. We just gossip about what we don't like about this.
Yeah, because there's not a lot we can do. They would apparently meet at the house of a Yahweh member who lived outside the warehouse, which I didn't even know you were allowed to live. I guess if you give them enough money, you can probably do whatever you want.
Probably, yeah.
You could probably say, I mean, it's like Scientology, for Christ's sake. The people that give them all the money, they can do anything they want, those people. They don't care. You're not going to tell them not to do it.
Yeah, it also earns trust. If you're giving a bunch of money, then you're clearly invested. You can go do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, and I think it's, hey, look, I have a job where I work and I can make a lot of money that I can give you, but I ain't going to be able to do it from inside the fucking warehouse. Right, so I'll be over here unless you don't want my money. And then it's like, no, you live in your house, and we'll make that a satellite office.
As long as that check clears.
So they would basically all get together at this person's house and compare notes and figure out, I saw this weird shit. Well, I saw this weird shit.
Yeah, bring a nice burrata and let's talk about what we saw.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I want like a nice Darjeeling. We'll sit and sip tea.
Vinaigrette drizzle.
That's going to be great. So Mitchell, of course, ends up hearing about this and excommunicated all of them.
Oh, shit.
Excommunicated. Took their names out of the book of life and printed up a flyer about them to pass around to all the members. Yeah. And it said, Yahweh's hypocrites are warned.
Shit.
Oh, yeah. It said, quote, knowest thou not this of old? This is in Old English, whatever. Since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and that the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung.
Like his own dung?
Like his own dung. That's on the flyer. So, makes sense there. He continued here. He was very angry with these people that that basically, in his mind, deserted the church. And he keeps talking about them. He would yell, and he would do from the sermon, he said, whoever does not want me to rule over them, those are my enemies.
Right.
Whoever doesn't want me to rule over them is an enemy.
That's a straight-up enemy.
Enemy. He said, and if you are my enemy, you must die. Yeah.
If you do not want me to rule over you, you're my enemy, and that means you must perish.
So anyone who doesn't want this dipshit to rule them has to die. You have to die, obviously. Jesus. He said, you must be killed. I want to see it. I want to see your head come off personally.
And beheaded.
I want to see the blood seep from your vein. You know, that jugular vein. I think they got the idea. Yeah. In case you were wondering which vein I'm talking about here. Yeah. He said, I want to see it. And then he made a gurgling noise and said, you won't be able to see it seep, but you'll feel that sword when it bites your neck. I can't wait to see that. What a pleasure. All my enemies killed with a sword.
God dang.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 2 minutes away from that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right? Get on a plane, too?
How fucking long until we see those? The Circle of 10, they are there. That's their guy. And that's a security force. Those are your hardcore believers with machetes and shit. November 13th, 1981. Okay. There's a construction worker. It's a Friday, by the way, Friday the 13th.
Sure.
A construction worker drove his truck down a narrow road to a rock pit located on the edge of the Everglades for an equipment check. Over there. Okay. Parked his vehicle. He noticed a large red blanket spread over the weeds a few feet from the road, which he said, that's weird because this isn't a place where like, people like go picnic because there's gigantic alligators and panthers around here.
They have panthers in the Florida Everglades?
Yeah, that's why they have the Florida Panthers. It's a team, yeah. They have fucking panthers.
You know what a panther is, James? Do you know that's not even a real cat?
No, it's not. It's just like a lynx or whatever.
A genetic mutation of a jaguar.
Yeah, a jaguar.
They're just one big spot.
Yeah, that's it. One big spot.
Isn't that
jaguar.
wild?
And they're fucking
I guess that's why they got the Jacksonville Jaguars. So there's jaguars down there, too.
There you go. There's all sorts of...
that's what a panther is. Wow.
All sorts of nasty shit down there. So this isn't normal, obviously. People don't hang out here. So he got out of his truck and walked toward it. There's a mistake for you.
Oh, boy.
This is not... Well, let me see my job description. Drive this truck, check equipment. Look for possible dead people? Nope, that's not... I don't see that on there.
In Panther Woods.
I think I'm going to keep on driving. And so he gets out of the truck, and it's quiet here. It's about 70 degrees, which it's usually very hot. So it's November, so it's starting to cool off finally here. He bent over the blanket and pulled up the blanket. Why?
Idiot.
I can't imagine. And then again, it's 81 too. They didn't quite know, maybe. Underneath was a man in jeans wearing a Florida Atlantic University t-shirt.
I'll keep sleeping, doggy.
And he didn't just say, oh, hey, how you doing, man? My bad. The reason why he didn't wake up and go, oh, shit, my bad, is because he has no head at all.
Oh, my God.
He's just missing a head. He's just a sans head. The guy basically stood there for a second, staring at it, like trying to figure it out.
Absorb it? Yeah.
This happened with a turkey in my yard the other day, and I had the same reaction. I was just staring at a headless, giant, wild turkey in my fucking yard. Like, what is this shit?
That's a message.
I thought it was. Don't think that didn't cross my mind, especially the turkeys. It's the small town murder people. So I was like, is someone trying to threaten me? What the fuck is going on? And then we read that the gray horned owls that live in our woods, that's what they do. They take turkeys' heads off and bring them to the nest for their, I guess there's a lot of nutrition in a turkey brain.
They just feed them the head?
Just the head and neck, dude. At first we thought it was a fox because we have foxes, but the fox would have taken the rest of the turkey. It's a giant, massive, fucking terrifying bird.
Imagine how that thing has to take the head.
Oh, it's not pretty.
How does it do that? Does it just bite it clean off, or does it use its fucking talons?
This thing didn't even have a neck or anything. It just was like clean off. Like,
does a great horned owl have a fucking switchblade?
Dude, they're nasty. The talons and the beaks
Good
too.
Lord.
They're nasty. So anyway, this guy's got no fucking head.
Yeah.
There's still blood seeped from the severed neck. So it's reasonably fresh here. Plus, it's real humid and warm, so it's not like anything's really drying up here. Right. So the guy was like, holy shit, this is a fresh body. So he runs. He notices that a tree next to the body just has tons of fucking blood all over it. Yeah. There's blood covering this tree. So this guy's sprinting through the Everglades back to his truck to get to the radio, basically. Right. Turns out that the corpse is a 25-year-old man, a Jamaican-born man named Aston Green. And Green had been a member of the Temple of Love. He had lived in the warehouse, and he was one of the defectors. Oh. So this is not great. So he's beheaded, basically. So it's... I mean, he's telling people this is what I want to do, but I think they thought it was like biblical, like it's like, it's an allegory or something. Like he wants them, rhetorically beheaded, or something. But no, he wants heads.
He wants them brought to him,
actual heads. Yeah. So Aston Green was a former Sunday school teacher, had a Jamaican accent, and he joined the cult, and it took the name Elijah Israel when he joined the cult, but then left the cult and reverted back to Aston Green.
Sure.
And I guess apparently after his defection, he had been told, never come back here again. Don't talk to anybody in the cult. Basically, you're out.
Yeah.
But he still had friends at the warehouse, and he kept coming back to visit them.
Really?
Which is insane. I mean, yeah, I guess if you've lived there and all that, that's your social life. Those are all your friends. Yeah. So when he showed up again on that Friday the 13th of November, that's when the enforcers decided this guy's got to go. He's got to go. They brought him to a remote corner of the warehouse and basically just beat him silly.
Really?
They beat him, hit him with clubs, kicked him, stomped his chest, and everything like that. I mean, it was a horror show. It was so severe that they had to paint the floor red to hide all the blood because it wouldn't scrub away.
Oh, wow.
So they just painted the floor red over it. So they dumped him in the trunk of a car, and drove him to the rock quarry where he was still alive and was begging for mercy, but they dragged him onto a piece of coral rock and stretched his head over it and chopped his head off with a sword.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Over coral?
Over a coral thing, yeah. So it's like a big rock, basically.
God damn.
As they're chopping off his head, apparently the blade is very dull. It's not even quick and easy. One of the assassins here said, damn, this blade is dull. It took 20 hacks or so to get his head off. 20. So they just had to keep hacking at this guy.
Dear God.
Now, Mitchell, old Yahweh ben Yahweh, he was thrilled when they told him what they did to this guy.
Really?
They were like, yes, yeah. He said, quote, this is Yahweh, well, when we take the next head, we're going to put the head in a basket on a post so the whole city can see it and fear Yahweh. Fear me.
Lord of the Flies shit.
Yeah, that's what he thinks, does he not realize, though, that, like, 10 guys with a sword is not like, the police force has, like, machine guns and tanks and shotguns and there's National Guard. Like, no one's afraid of you.
No.
No gang is afraid of you. They have guns. If you're in Liberty City, motherfucker, they'd be like, come take my head with your sword, bitch. I will
come get it.
Fill you full of holes. Miami's murder rate at this point was insane, by the way. This is the Cocaine Cowboys days.
Yeah.
When there was, giant machine gun shootouts at malls because they were trying to kill one Colombian dealer, so they, shot thousands of rounds off at them. Like, this is the time when Miami's out of fucking control. No one's scared of 10 guys with a sword. Everyone's got Uzis back then.
Yeah.
Like, this is bonkers.
You got Haitian gangs down there that will take over your neighborhood.
You got every kind of gang down there. It's Miami, and it was when all the coke was coming in. So anybody who wanted to make money, they were down there.
Scary people.
The mafia was down there.
Sure.
Cuban gangs, Haitian gangs, Dominican gangs, and these people, they had money from selling coke. These people were no fucking joke. And this is the whole point of why they killed this Aston Green. News quickly spreads through all of the circles of Yahweh here. And he wanted this to scare all the other people and scare the dissidents too, the people who left.
Yeah.
Now they won't come back. But instead, they decided we should let the police know what's going on now.
What do you mean?
The people, the dissidents who had left, rather than being scared by it, they said they were scared, but they weren't scared like, oh, I'll never go there again. They were scared like we should go to the police so they can protect us from these lunatics.
Oh.
The wrong messages was sent. You know what I mean? So that's what's going on. But the problem is the people who wanted to do that didn't realize that some of the people in the group of dissidents were actually not dissidents. They were actually plants to bring the information back to Mitchell so he could find out what they were up to.
Oh, my God. He is
diabolical.
He's got to know that he's doing a bad thing now, right?
Oh.
If he has to have plants into the I guess you call it a dissident, but it's the people that are just against you.
This is about control, right?
Yeah.
Right or wrong or any of that shit went out the window a long time ago. He just wants to control everything, and he can't control everything if there's people talking.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're so powerful in this weird little group, absolute powers will fuck you up. will corrupt absolutely, as they say. It's going to happen. So, and it all turns to this weirdness. Now nobody can just say anything about me. And I want to control people's thoughts and movements.
Jesus.
So they took everything back to old Yahweh. Mm-hmm. So Mitchell's enforcers are waiting for a specific guy, Carlton Carey, who went by Yakim Israel when he was here. I guess he went for a police interview. And his wife, Mildred Banks, was with him when 4 men wearing ski masks attacked them as soon as they walked through the front door of their house.
Oh, shit.
They shot Carlton Carey to death, but somehow Mildred Banks survived despite being shot in the chest and having her throat slit.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That's a tough, tough woman.
There's this story in the David Simon homicide book that's insane. There's Geraldine Parrish is her name. If you look her up, you will see she is one of the worst serial killers of ever. But she killed people she knew for insurance money. So I don't even know if you can call it a serial killer, but she killed so many people. Really? Like at least a dozen, at least. Yeah. I mean, she was a monster. But there was this one particular niece of hers. She would get people to sign insurance stuff for her. Yeah. Like, I'm your beneficiary. Then she'd kill them.
Oh, my.
She poisoned a bunch of babies. She would marry old men and just kill them after she got them. And it kept happening. So there's this one girl, her niece, who was like 18, 20 years old. She tried to kill her like 4 fucking times and she wouldn't die. She got shot in the head while sitting on a stoop and she lived. They cut her throat and she lived. She got shot again and they lived and she lived. And then like the 4th time, it was like this girl, like, because and it's so fucked up. It was in Baltimore in the 80s. So the first like 3 times they thought it might have been coincidence. That's how fucked up the neighborhood was. Like 3 murder attempts in 2 years is not out of the question for just a normal person. For just walking down the street. So that's wild. But yeah, she had the same type of thing. And they were like, this is crazy. So the gunman left her for dead. They thought she was dead.
Yeah.
So she dragged herself to a neighbor's house who called the cops.
Dang.
So she ended up recovering and changing her name and relocating. But she's got a big jagged neck scar on her neck and all that kind of thing. Now, Mitchell, thinking that he killed both of them, had a pep rally to celebrate their death the next day. He's just not even hiding it. A lot of the people that showed up were horrified to hear about this because they're like, oh, shit, this is getting real now. But
horrified to find out that he did it? Yeah.
Yeah, that he's excited about it. And they're supposed to be celebrating it. So apparently the temple guards were watching closely looking for any sign of somebody not looking thrilled about this, really. So everybody had no choice but to clap and, act like they loved it.
Oh, boy.
So now they're terrified for their lives now. It's not even about anything else. So after this, all of a sudden, plainclothes cops started showing up at the warehouse.
Uh-oh.
Walking around, that kind of shit, like trying to get...
Just looking around, yeah.
Looking around. Unmarked squad cars would patrol the neighborhood and keep an eye on the dudes carrying machetes, wearing turbans, marching back and forth in front of something. So they had no proof to put the attacks on this cult. So there's nothing really they could do. They couldn't raid it without any evidence. You can't just raid a bunch of people are allowed to live in a warehouse together if they want to. There's nothing, as long as it's zoned for it, nobody can say anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's wild. But so they didn't know what to do. I guess 14 people went into hiding. 14 people escaped the cult and went into hiding and literally had to go into hiding because they were like, we're going to, get killed. Then the cops noticed a green carpet hanging from the temple wall.
Right.
When they're walking around. The thing they noticed is that carpet looks a lot like the carpet found with
in the Everglades.
With Aston Green. Yeah. So the sergeant, who was the head of the homicide department, decided to pay a visit to Mr. Mitchell here, to Yahweh Ben Yahweh himself. So Mitchell had him in his office, sitting at his desk. He had 2 guards next to him and all that. Wouldn't really answer questions about the cult, was instead lecturing the detective about the oppression of blacks by whites. Which, if it's 1981 in Florida and you're sitting there, you could go, absolutely. Yeah. But the problem is, that's true. I get that. Yeah. But this has nothing to do with that. At one point, he held up a copy of a historical photograph showing black men being lynched by a white mob. Again, terrible. You can't chop people's heads off because they don't like you, because they don't want to be in your club. That's
no, but you
regardless.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with a black man laying in
another
the Florida
black man.
Everglades.
Yeah, you killed another black guy. What the fuck's that about? He said, "This is what your people have done to us for the last 400 years." So
now we're doing it too
to ourselves. So the detectives left just confused. They got no useful information out of him. They're just like, that was the weirdest interview we've ever done. That was strange. Now, somehow, I don't understand how this is an attractive proposition for people, this cult.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't get any cult being attractive.
No. But there's really not a lot to dig your teeth into here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, you could Jonestown, like if you look at like Jim Jones and that whole thing, like it evolved into that.
Yeah.
And
it takes a little bit.
The people that were there from the beginning, it evolved so slowly that it wasn't like any major changes. It was erosion of the Grand Canyon. It was every little bit of silt, every rainstorm, so you don't notice it. Because that started out as a good thing. He started out just trying to say, hey, black people and white people should be able to go to church together.
Right.
That's a reasonable
Let's all read a
thing.
book together.
Well, we should love each other. That's all fine.
Started as a single book club.
Yep, that's it. But then once you're, trying to fucking trying
Finger
to solicit
12-year-olds.
Well, once you're trying to solicit blowjobs in the gay movie theater and then have people cover it up because you're such a great upstanding man of God, then there's
a problem.
There's a problem, and then you move to an island, and then it gets even worse.
And that's where all bets are off.
An island, but South America.
You usually go to a place where nobody can see because we've seen.
And they don't like it. You've been run out of places. But this cult keeps expanding.
Wow.
Somehow it's growing. And he would send people to travel to black communities across the country dressed in the robes and sandals and all that shit. I mean, the whole biblical outfit, giving away copies of a pamphlet or a book titled, "You Are Not a N-Word."
You are not.
You are not that. And that's how they would recruit new members. It came across as just like a kind of a black empowerment type of thing of feel better and do all that kind of shit, but they don't understand that this is
kind of what Diddy did
cult.
Too.
It's kind of what everybody in cults and religion and Epstein and everybody, anybody tries to recruit a club, they got to find something that say, this is what you are and that's good, so you should come with the other people that have that too.
The hard part is finding that one thing that's like niche, but not too niche. You know what I mean? And being black, that's fucking getting everybody, and that's too wide of a net, I think.
A little bit, for this, because you're going to get people who aren't going to be into it, I think.
You're going to get normal people. Yeah.
Normal, non-crazy people who just think it's good to not think of themselves as an N-word. I think that's,
I think they're a
nice message.
Citizen. Yeah, that's terrible.
So the Yahwehs here, this cult, claimed satellite churches in 45 cities at their heyday.
My God.
They're fucking expanding. They had tens of thousands of members. This was not just 100 people in a warehouse anymore. Yeah. This is crazy. 500 people live at the warehouse. And Mitchell bought old buses from Dade County to house single men who lived three or four in a bus. Or old retired, street buses too. Yes.
Well, if they're Dade County
buses,
prison buses, right?
Or school. Counties do administer schools, whatever. The same bus, it's just painted different. Yeah. Let's be realistic here.
Whether it's gray or yellow, it doesn't matter.
Just painted different.
They both have black letters.
Yeah, and they put seatbelts in for the prisoners, but not the kids. That was the thing I always found funny. Prisoners seatbelts, kids, you're fine. Fuck them. So they would live 3 to 4 in a bus to accommodate members of the satellite churches who made pilgrimage to Liberty City for various feasts and celebrations. This was like going to Mecca, basically. You had to go make your pilgrimage.
Yeah.
One of the guys here is a 22-year-old black belt karate expert from New Orleans. Okay, who attended the Feast of the Tabernacles in fall of 1983. It was
That's another word. I don't know what the fuck it means.
Tabernacles?
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
no idea.
I don't know what that means.
It's vaguely religious. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's vaguely religious, and but also indicating
holiness of some kind.
Holiness, but also like achievement to be here.
Yeah. This is in the fall of 83. Now, this guy, the karate expert, is Leonard Dupree, and his parents were very much against him joining this weird fucking cult.
Yeah,
didn't like it. But he was into it. He wanted to do it. He has a strong will, obviously, to be a black belt in karate. You have to have some kind of will and discipline. So his father finally relented and loaned him money to get a bus to the headquarters there.
Yeah.
So they sent him on down. Now, he apparently, Dupree, drew some attention, not in a good way, from the temple guards who are watching everybody's, not just what they're doing, their facial expressions have to be right, or else they get a talking to. I mean, everything has to be exactly right. Yeah. So apparently Dupree was spacing out in class and just kind of wandering around by himself, not really engaging with the whole thing and really locking in.
Yeah.
So rumors started making the rounds when he said people found out he was like a karate expert and a black belt and shit.
Yeah.
What do you think the rumors were?
The rumors that he's gay.
No.
Oh.
The rumors were that he's an assassin sent to kill the Messiah.
Oh, because he knows kung fu.
He's going to come in and kung fu him to death. That's how didn't you know that, by the way? That's how all messiahs die.
Through kung fu, yeah.
That's what it's kung fu. Even in the Bible, if it's in the back in very small print, but they say, then the Romans kung fu'd him. And it's a very interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, if he'll just be patient, he'll find out that guys that do kung fu, they just are trying to figure out better angles to do some choke jerking.
Yeah, how do I do this? That's fucking great. So he became paranoid, Mitchell does, after the defections and all this type of shit. And he started censoring mail to and from the temple as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one afternoon, few days after Dupree gets there, he gets into a fight with another member of the cult. Dupree does. About 70 people are watching. Wow. And Mitchell was called to the scene. And he asked Dupree, do you want to hurt me? Is that why you're here?
Are you here to harm me?
And Dupree said, no, I just want to kiss your feet. Okay. Yeah. Mitchell accused Dupree still of coming to start mayhem. And as the crowd starts to get angry and swell and, kind of going toward Dupree, someone yelled, kill him, which seems like a big step to take here. Yeah. We've got from talking to killing. And Mitchell basically stepped aside as a man wielding an tire iron, fucking beat Dupree over the skull and cracked the skull. And then they continued to beat him after he fell to the floor, ripping his pants off and kicking his private areas.
All he wants to do is kiss your feet.
He's trying to kiss your feet. Someone poked out his eye with a broomstick.
What is going on?
Full Gaddafi with this guy. Only Gaddafi enslaved and tortured his own people for decades before they finally did it. This guy just showed up and said, I want to kiss your feet. Where do they get the rage?
My God.
To do this.
He's clearly been gossiping about him, about how he's an assassin, right? And
apparently.
And these people
he was sure about it. That's right. So they locked all the doors so nobody could leave.
Yeah.
And basically, as Dupree was dying, he made everyone that was inside the warehouse, man, woman, and child, all hit Dupree as he was dying.
We're all in it, yeah.
That way they're all involved in it. So nobody can say shit because you got involved too. Yeah. So this was a long, slow, painful death of torture, essentially.
Yeah.
Then a group of men rolled Dupree's body in a carpet and threw him near a canal. And by the way, police never able to recover Dupree's body because no one could remember where they put him. And
or panthers and gators got it.
As I say, and it was near a canal. So
right.
God knows what took him. Who knows? So
that could have been fucking giant lizards.
Dude, it's Florida. There could be gorillas living in there. We have no fucking idea. We don't know what's in there, man. It's
mosquitoes are so big
shit.
They could have eaten him.
You never know. So Mitchell here. Mitchell, by the way, has an economics degree that I think we talked about in the first episode.
Okay.
He's not a dumb guy at all.
Right.
That's the thing here. So he opens a food distribution firm, a housing business, and a bottling company that makes, you know what they make, Jimmy?
Sundrop.
Yahweh beer.
Stop it. They are a microbrew?
They're a douchey microbrew somehow.
What is going on?
They make Yahweh beer, Yahweh wine.
Yeah.
They're a small winery as well, and Yahweh sodas as well. Even though the Yahwehs are forbidden from tasting the soda, the wine, or the beer. No, they're not allowed to drink any of it.
No sugar, no booze.
No, but this is to sell.
Right.
So, wow. One member, who was a former hairdresser, created a line of hair products for black people that ended up being a national success.
Wow.
And others had merchandise. They'd go out on the city streets selling cassettes of Mitchell's sermons. It doesn't seem like a real easy sell. It'd be hard to give that away. I would slap that from someone's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also Yahweh keychains, pencils, and T-shirts as well.
Yeah. How many? There's probably been several products that were nefarious like that, right? That were religious products to benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Tons of shit happens like that. I think that wasn't Amway part of some weird religious shit?
I think
isn't that
so.
how that started?
Yeah.
Or I think that's had something vaguely connected to a church thing. And
there's got to be several like big products though, like. I'll bet you there is one that we don't even know is that like fucking
you're talking
or some shit
that they came up with. Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is where all the multi-level marketing people pray is in churches.
Right. Yeah.
They pray, especially the Mormons are the easiest ones.
Fuck, do they love selling shit to each other.
Their whole religion is based on success and all this shit, and then they tell each other they're going to be a success, and it's just two rich people robbing the rest of them like everything else in this fucking world. Multi-level marketing thrives inside churches. It wouldn't exist if church wasn't around. It really wouldn't. That's the only place it thrives.
It's certainly,
Those people are an easy...
PTAs and dance moms, they can't compete with a church.
No, because in a church, think about it, those people are already up for ridiculous ideas, number one.
Yeah, they'll take anything and run.
And number two, they think that we're all somehow better than everyone else because we're all in this room, in this building together. So that means that we're good people and those are bad people. And so it's weird.
It's kind of like the influencer bit where you could get a whole bunch of people to agree on something and all of a sudden it's now a thing.
That's it. So there we go. Now, some of the people that they approach had heard about that this cult's weird, and they've heard about them, so they were not interested at all. But the street peddlers would work 18-hour days out there on the street.
God damn.
Wow. If they failed to meet a sales quota, they were sent to the prayer room, which everybody actually calls the pain room. Oof. Where they were forced to kneel for hours at a time as the temple guards watched and hit them with a switch if they got up without permission.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are still people in the cult that hold jobs outside the cult. And they are required to deposit their entire paycheck into the Yahweh bank account. Just sign the back over and deposit it.
Tithe 100%?
100%.
That's ballsy to ask.
Right? Mitchell also cut back on food. He served one meal a day, usually consisting of beans.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids became emaciated. Some of the kids, you remember the old commercials of like the starving Ethiopian kids that Sally Struthers would be on? And they have like the pot belly from dissension from being all fucking undernourished and
malnourished.
There's like flies on their forehead that they don't have the energy to swat away. Like that's what these kids started turning into, which is crazy. So he would save money by starving and overworking people, and then he would invest that money in real estate. Jesus Christ. He bought and renovated apartments in shitty neighborhoods. That's what he would do, which is fine. It's fine if you're going to build them up to try to give people nicer housing because you care about your people, but that's not what it is. He just turns into a slumlord. That's all he's doing. And he's telling, and also these people that live there, now he can try to recruit them as well. As he grew bigger and bigger, he was able to get loans and buy more buildings and have a big old real estate empire. He had motels, apartment complexes, grocery stores, fucking bottling company, all this type of shit. He had a lot of money, millions of dollars at one point. He became one of Miami's largest black-owned corporations at one point.
How about that?
Which is pretty crazy. He had Temple of Love, Inc. And a lot of people, too, they don't know what's going on inside the warehouse. They don't know about the murder. They just see this, and he's being hailed by a lot of people as a role model. This is this black role model. And they also said, everybody said wherever his businesses go, all the drug trade around there is gone. He eliminates all the drug trade around there.
Well, what does that mean?
It means he has 50 guys in turbans fucking clear the streets of everybody.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know how you could do that. There's gangs out there like, all right, motherfucker, well, how many guns you got? Because we got plenty. I mean, they wouldn't let a gang run them off of their street corner. Why the fuck would they let this guy run them off?
Only time I put down my piece is when I'm eating pancakes in my kitchen with my kids.
I don't even think fucking. I don't even think Avon Barksdale would have let this shit go. Like he would have been like, "Fuck that! I want my corners." That's what he would have said. Yeah.
Sometimes I use my piece to eat the pancakes.
Well, you could just stab them and it's nice. Donuts real easy. I get 3-4 of them.
That's
on there.
An ideal.
Fucking Homer Simpson, basically. I do that, which he did when he had a gun, which was funny. The gun episode where he used it to like turn off the TV. He would shoot at it and shoot lights off and shit. Anyway, so he gets a lot of respect in the community.
Okay.
The mayor at the time, Xavier Suarez, on October 7th, 1990, declared Yahweh Ben Yahweh Day.
Got his own day.
Got his own fucking day.
Is this who was this? The governor or the mayor?
The mayor of Miami.
Holy
Gave him his own
shit.
day. Wow. An author here, Michael T. Miller, described Yahweh Ben Yahweh's thoughts here as consisting of an imminent apocalyptic expectation, a dualistic cosmology, which placed blacks in the center of the battle between good and evil, wherein whites were evil, and a firm separation based on black pride and economic empowerment. So basically, he was Charles Manson, is what he was saying. As a race war,
sure,
I'd like to set it off, and then we'll all live underground for whatever. Also, quote, anti-Semitism, often strict dietary guidelines going above and beyond what is in Scripture, commonly advocating vegetarianism for its health benefits, the perception of Christianity as a slave religion designed to subjugate blacks, a relocation of heaven and hell as this worldly realities, and a rejection of the dualist metaphysics of matter and spirit. That's what he was about. Yeah. So you can figure all what that means all out. I mean, it's a pretty simple.
Seems pretty self-explanatory.
Just trying to rewrite what religion is for his own whatever suits his purpose. Mm-hmm. That's all. He concludes that a theology of vengeance upon white America is also something he wanted, although noting a change that began in 1985 when Mitchell wished to create a more positive image. Because he was coming across as
a little hardlined,
scaring the shit out of all the white people.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. I'm sure he was okay with that. But still, he said that they said, quote, Mitchell is probably the only African-American religious leader to have been equally immersed in black Christianity, Islam, and Judaism.
Oh.
He did become increasingly paranoid about what was being said about him inside the warehouse.
Yeah, that's getting to be a problem.
What are these fucking people saying? He formed a secret group called the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Which was tall, muscular men available for his discreet missions.
The brothers.
The brothers. Now, who do you know that's a tall, muscular man that we've talked about?
I know an
show?
Athlete that's real good at that. Yeah.
Played for the Raiders for 2 minutes here.
Right.
Yes. Now, to become a member of the Brotherhood, applicants had to kill a, quote, white devil and bring Mitchell a body part.
That's
ear, nose, or finger.
The job interview.
A job interview, yeah. It's like like the worst gang ever.
Wow.
And you got to bring a nose or an ear or a finger as proof.
Bring me a pinky toe.
Now, Robert Rozier is his chief enforcer. Because think about it. He's a big fucking guy, and he's athletic. He has control of his body. I mean, if you wanted a guy like that's your specimen. I mean,
shit, yeah.
You know, according to the court papers here, basically between April and October 86 here, he sent these guys out in Miami frequently to just kill random white people.
Wow.
Just random ones. Now, Rozier, we talked about in the first episode as he is wanted in several areas. He's bad checks. He's been turned into a scam artist. He wanted in California on a bunch of warrants. Right. Canada had like 32 warrants for him for all these financial crimes.
Right.
He's got no money. He's out of the league. He has nothing. There's nothing going for him, basically. So he initially basically was involved in non-cult related crimes like robberies, and she'd be doing robberies, this guy.
Yeah.
But when he got drawn into the group here, he started getting into it. Upon recruitment, he underwent the whole indoctrination and, you got to have an absolute obedience to Yahweh. He's the Son of God. And, there's a necessity of violent proofs to show that you're loyal to him, basically.
Right.
He adopted the name of Neriah Israel.
That's the name he chose.
That's the name he got. I don't know if he chose it, but he was given it. That's the one he had.
Yeah.
He was initiated as a death angel, because that's what he calls his little circle of enforcers, the death angels. Wow, which is crazy here. Now, the status was reserved for, this was an important, like you were a big shot in the cult if you were one of the death angels. Like you were the closest to Mitchell and he trusted you the most. And I mean, these were the guys that he would send out to kill people. So they got, they were really important to him and shit. And you had to be really like devoted to him for him to trust you enough to be in here. But Rozier's physical prowess and not alone makes him perfect for this shit here. He's huge. They said basically when he found Yahweh in 82, he was basically this close to being homeless, Robert Rozier. He had nothing. He was surviving on robberies and crime and forgeries and everything like that. He was in prison for 6 months, Rozier was. That's when he found the Temple of Love and changed his name and did all that shit. He worked really hard in the Yahweh bottling company first. That's how he got in.
Yeah.
And people were taking notice of his efforts, and that's how he ended up. Yeah. In April of 86, it's a Saturday night, Rozier decided to try out for the Brotherhood, the Death Angels. He's going to try out. So he put on street clothes. He had a 12-inch knife inside of his jacket, and he left the warehouse to go hunting for white devils.
Jesus.
He ended up in Coconut Grove, which is a gay neighborhood.
Yeah.
Also white. A lot of white people and gay people. And he would follow groups of people around looking for someone who straggled off, looking for the weak antelope, basically. Is there one with a limp who's going to be behind a couple of steps? And he found a white man stumbling down in the street drunk. And that caught his attention. He said, oh, look at this fucking guy. So he followed this man to his apartment all the way to the door. And as the man opened the door, Rozier forced his way inside and stabbed him in the heart. Jesus Christ, that's cold-blooded. This guy was playing in the NFL like 2 years ago. This is, wow. Apparently, what he didn't know was there was someone else in the apartment. someone else is living there who is home. Who? So that's a problem. And so Mitchell stabbed that guy to death as well.
Oh,
or Mitchell,
God.
Rozier stabbed him to death as well. Now, he briefly considered, should I chop their heads off and bring them to Mitchell? He'd probably like that. But then he was like, how the fuck am I going to get these heads through Miami without people noticing?
Right.
That's going to be hard. Gee, I can't just walk with one under each arm like they're coconuts. That's not going to work. So he just left. He showed Mitchell his knife the next day and told him what he did. And Mitchell said, good work, good work. He said, but next time, remember to bring a body part back. What's wrong with you?
Bring something. Yeah.
Something. Slap a finger in your pocket. What's the big deal?
Show and tell, babe.
That's what we do. Now, on another occasion, Robert Rozier and the other Death Angels. Bobby Rozier and the Death Angels sounds like an aborted Motown project from the 60s. You're like, we're going with the Supremes instead. We're going to put our marketing dollars behind that. They're walking the streets of Miami looking for white devils, and they come across a man passed out in a car in a bar parking lot. So two of the men stab him in the chest repeatedly, then slice his ear off.
Is he asleep?
He was asleep in the car, drunk, sleeping one off.
Yeah.
So they stabbed him in the chest and sliced his ear off, but then they dropped it in the dark.
Oh.
Now they're searching around, and there's no cell phone flashlight, so they're just searching around in the dark for an ear that they can't find. So then they had to go back. They dropped it not at the car. They dropped it on the way home sometime. So when they got home, they didn't have the ear.
Could be anywhere.
So they went back to cut off his other ear.
Oh, my God.
Back to the crime scene. Oh, man. Mitchell was so impressed with them and their dedication to go all the way back and get that ear that the following day, he gave them the day off, and they all went to see the movie Aliens. I don't know how those two things cross, but
it's a big blockbuster movie, James. We got to see it at some point.
They got to see the sequel. They saw the first one.
Yeah.
Sigourney's going to be all in her underwear and shit that everybody wants to go.
Her nipples are so hard. She looks great.
So people basically, there's tons of white guys, usually homeless or alcoholic people, or people that were in the margins, stumbling around at 3 a.m, shit-faced, stuff like that. Started basically just showing up dead all over the streets. And police thought that the police had a theory that whoever was killing all these people, number one, they thought it was one person.
Right.
And number two, they thought it was some kind of deranged Vietnam vet. That's what they thought it was. Somebody for some reason, that some clues that they were put onto made them think it was a vet because the ears were getting cut off. What did they do in Vietnam?
Yeah.
A lot of times those fuckers would cut off ears and save them and shit. So they thought it was some Vietnam vet continuing his work, basically. Yeah. They didn't realize that it's actually a guy who's going to get a key to the city and shit.
He got his own day?
Yeah, not yet, but later, yeah. Mm-hmm. So in 1986, the cult takes over the mortgage on an apartment in Opelika, which is outside of Miami. They tried to evict the residents.
Oh.
And some of them didn't want to fucking leave.
No.
Nope. So Yahweh's enforcers were sent to forcibly remove the people. And
it's his place.
It's his place. He bought it, so it's his now. 2 of the residents were shot to death with this.
Wow.
You could have just done the eviction process, and then the sheriffs would have gone and got him out. You don't have to kill anybody. This is crazy. There is a process for this.
Yeah.
It might take you a minute, and you got to go to the court and everything, but
constable, it's not
in
easy.
the end, you don't have to kill anybody.
Right.
Is usually how it works. Interesting. So a witness told police that Rozier was the gunman, and then he was arrested on Halloween 1986 and charged with murder. He refused to cooperate at first here, obviously. They asked him his age.
How?
Robert Rozier, how old are you? By the way, he's 33 at this point.
Yeah.
His answer was 404 years old. Hi, Nariah Israel, 404 years old. Nice to meet you.
404.
And any question they asked him other than his age, he answered with the exact same answer, which was praise Yahweh. That's all he would say.
Really?
All he would say. Wouldn't say shit other than praise Yahweh. Hey. So here is a, what is this, Palm Beach Post article, Yahweh sect member held in murder. Mm-hmm. They say 2 men who opposed the takeover of their drug-ridden apartment complex by a militant black religious sect were shot to death Thursday, prompting the city to evacuate the buildings. A Yahweh sect member, Nariah Israel, 33, also known as Robert Rozier, now it's with an S instead of a Z.
Oh, no more Zs.
He changed that, was charged Thursday with first-degree murder in one of the slayings. The Metro-Dade police spokesman, Lucy Fitz, said that. Israel lives at the Yahweh Temple in Miami. Homicide investigators refused to release more information about the case, only saying that she did not know which of the 2 slayings Israel was charged with. Oh. The Opa-locka City Commission voted unanimously Thursday in an emergency meeting to condemn the 5-building complex and order all residents evicted and relocated within 48 hours.
That's great.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's a start.
He got what he wanted, but now it's condemned, so not really. Because now it's condemned. Now what the fuck do you do with it? You have to knock it down.
It's unlivable, yeah.
The commission refused an offer by the former owners 2 weeks ago to allow the city to take over the complex, which has received publicity as a haven for drug dealers.
Okay.
Instead, it was sold to the Yahwehs, or Hebrew Israelites, a militant group that contends American blacks are the descendants from the biblical Israelites and now live in the land of the white devil. Early Thursday, a confrontation between 2 outspoken residents and 2 carloads of men outside the complex. 2 outspoken residents, drug dealers who say, "Get the fuck out of my turf," is what it was.
The loud people with not enough to hide, I guess?
No, because they don't give a fuck. We own this motherfucker. So that's very funny to put it literally between 2 drug dealers who run an apartment complex and a group of cult members. That's a fun argument.
Yeah.
And they describe it as a confrontation between 2 outspoken residents and 2 carloads of men. Outspoken. This confrontation ended when the 2 men were shot, according to the mayor of this community near Miami. An angry crowd gathered in front of the buildings after the shootings, but was eventually dispersed by police.
Holy shit.
They identified the 2 men as Anthony Brown, 28, and Rudolph Broussard, 37, saying they had resisted evictions ordered by the Yahwehs after the sect bought the property. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, Brown was shown, that's the 28-year-old, on television saying, "I'm going to stay here until I get an eviction notice. I don't care what they say. They ain't going in. It's as simple as that."
It's my place.
Which, that's the legal way. They should have just did that.
Yeah.
Broussard had told his family and friends that the Yahwehs had entered his apartment without permission and took out furnishings.
You can't do that.
His sister said they broke into his apartment and took a freezer out. Then my brother tried to get the freezer back. The Yahwehs were just throwing people out. So they said they refused to release details of the shootings, but just said 2 carloads of men spotted Brown and Broussard sitting on the steps in front of the building. The 2 cars stopped, the men exchanged words, and the shooting began. Broussard was shot 4 times in the head and died on the spot.
Ooh.
Brown was shot but ran and fell down 2 blocks away. He was then shot once in the back and twice in the head as he tried to get up. So they followed him and then executed him. A man who gave his last name as Israel, the name taken by all Yahweh sect members, was arrested for loitering in the vicinity after the shooting. The cops said she did not know if he was the same man charged in the slaying. Wow. They said the Miami-based Yahwehs also are suspected in the pre-dawn fire bombings of 6 Delray beach homes on May 20th. Oh. Firebombing? This is terrorism now. Fire bombings?
That's absurd. Yeah, that's too far.
Jesus. The homes in the first block of the Southwest 14th Avenue were firebombed after neighborhood residents clashed with the Yahwehs who'd been recruiting new members in the neighborhood. There have been no arrests in that case. After the shootings here, Yahweh members got on a bus and left the scene. A woman who answered the phone at the group's Miami temple told the Associated Press that the sect has, quote, no comment about the events. No comment about our people being charged with murder. So November 5th, the Tampa Tribune, headline is Police Recordings Missing of Shootings at Yahweh Complex. Okay, let's find out what's going on here. Residents of the Opa-locka apartment complex where 2 men were killed after a dispute with the Yahweh sect last week said they called police for help, but nobody came. Wow. Police said because of a technical error, they don't have the tape recordings of the calls. Oh, we lost those. Sorry. Wow. Witnesses said there were no police at the complex when the two tenants were killed. Well, I would guess not. I doubt they would have done it with cops there. The Yahwehs had taken over the complex and trying to move people out. They said all the calls came into our office from midnight to midnight, meaning October 28th to October 29th. We have no record of. Basically, the entire day of October 28th, they have no record of. That is interesting. They said, I'm not sure somebody actually destroyed it. She said, I don't think we would have wanted to destroy those phone calls. Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't want to destroy calls that you ignored because it's a shit neighborhood and then people got killed. So I think they're full of shit. Barbara Malone, a legal services attorney representing the tenants, scoffed and said, my inclination is to say, if you believe that, then you believe in the tooth fairy. Yeah. And this is the time of insanely corrupt police forces, too.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
Miami Herald asked the department to produce tape recordings of the 38-hour period during which the slayings took place. The police chief said that the department had no reason to think violence would break out in the case, but on Monday promised to investigate. He said, quote, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Wow.
Investigating it all on his own?
Oh, I'm going to get to the bottom. The director of the Dade County Housing and Urban Development Department said he had warned of trouble at the complex, which had been a haven for drug traffickers and abusers for years before the Yahwehs bought it. But he said he had the letter hand-delivered to the city manager hours after the slayings. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Interesting. By the way, in other completely unrelated news from Florida at this exact time in this newspaper, listen to this headline. 9-year-old to be tried for murder as an adult.
Hell yeah.
A 9-year-old. Yeah, he's had enough fucking coddling, this little bastard. That's enough juice boxes and pudding pops for you, you little pussy. 9-year-old.
As an adult.
As an adult.
What did he do?
He's a murder. It doesn't matter what he did. He's 9.
Obviously murdered. I think that's the only thing they try him for as an adult. They don't go, this kid joyrode his mom's car and got a speeding ticket. We're trying him as an adult.
But they said the defense attorney decided to have him tried as an adult.
Really?
Hoping an adult jury would show more sympathy than a judge who would try him as a juvenile.
Oh.
He's a 3rd grader. He's in 3rd grade. What
Who'd he kill?
Fuck? He appeared. We'll get here. He appeared in court in handcuffs and leg shackles. He's 9.
Yeah.
He's 9. Handcuffs and leg shackles. That's ridiculous. Did they have tiny leg shackles? He pushed 3-year-old Ricardo Brown into a motel swimming pool and watched him drown. Okay, well, that's sick. He's a dangerous little boy, but put him in therapy. He's 9.
Oh, my. Does this little guy swim?
I don't know. We don't know.
That's a question, too. What if he doesn't swim? What if he, pushed him in and then was like, oh, no.
And he can't swim. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, but did he try to get help? Wow. So they asked a bunch of judges, and none of the judges they contacted could recall a jury trial for such a young defendant in a murder case. They're like, I don't understand this. The Florida Supreme Court clerk said, 9 years old? Not that age, but I have no way to check that either, he said. Wow. That is crazy. The state's attorney's office said, we're not interested in winning so much as we're interested in getting treatment for the child. He is, works for the state there. Wow. And then the boy said, I'm embarrassed with my shackles on.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and they also, this is the lawyer said, he's a 9-year-old and most just don't understand the consequences of their actions or the system. I have adult clients who have trouble understanding the system.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you barely remember when you were 9?
I don't think I remember it at all.
Imagine if you did something that still affected your life today. You'd be like, I don't even remember doing that. It was fucking 9. I don't even remember. My brain wasn't developed yet. You'd be like, fuck, man, that's crazy.
I wonder who he killed.
A 3-year-old.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, the 3-year-old.
Pushed him in the pool and just watched him drown.
Just watched him drown.
And that's where we're going to try that kid as an adult. It's
not like he cut the kid's head off or something.
Yeah.
He might have thought the kid could swim. He's 9. He might not understand that 3-year-olds can't swim.
Yeah, and he may not understand that he can't swim.
all sorts of shit. Yeah. I don't know if a 9-year-old could even pull a 3-year-old.
No.
Would be strong enough to do that.
No way.
So November 21st, 1986, the headline here is Yahweh sect denies preaching self-destruction.
Oh.
This article says, in a lesson book to followers, the Yahweh sect broaches the topic of suicide. It says, quote, we have come to the point where we must find justice for ourselves or commit suicide.
Oh.
The message of self-destruction, chillingly reminiscent of Jonestown, is contained in a 92-page book of the teachings of Yahweh's leader, Hulon Mitchell Jr., obviously Yahweh ben Yahweh. The softcover book, undated, discusses suicide 3 times. It declares, quote, it is better for us to just go and commit suicide than to allow the enemy to come into our homes and drag us down, drag our mothers and daughters out, beat and lynch and rape them while we stand by looking.
Suicide's the answer.
Suicide is the answer. That's right. Which I believe I think the Nazis had the same theory.
Likely. Yeah.
I think they all just killed themselves at the end there. That and what's a Hostetler from Deadwood?
Oh.
Not going to let people treat me like that, and just went and blew his brains out. Remember? You're like, Jesus Christ, Hostetler.
Take it easy.
Calm down. They said someone mailed a copy of the book to the Dade County State Attorney's Office last week. Prosecutors are reviewing it as part of an investigation into the allegations of cult-related crimes. Mitchell, 51, a charismatic eccentric. That's one way to put it. Charismatic eccentric. That's
extremist more. Yeah.
Cult leader who murders people, who can stir his disciples into chanting at a frenzied state, was unavailable for comment. A woman answering the telephone at the Sex Temple of Love said no one could speak for the group. She said, quote, our public information office is closed right now. Wow. Authorities investigating alleged involvement by Yahweh members in a number of crimes over the past 5 years, including execution-style murders in Dade County, as well as incidents of child abuse in New York and South Florida, arson in Delray Beach, and assault. They deny all the wrongdoings. In a most recent episode, they took over the apartment complex and murdered 2 people, obviously. So they say that basically the Yahweh spoke of suicide, but nothing specific. They say the specter of suicide arises in the, quote, you are not an N-word, our true history, the world's best kept secret. That's the book they're selling for $5 at the Temple of Love.
$5.
$5. Seems like something you should give out if you want people to pay attention to it.
It's a good way to do it, yeah. Give it for free.
Remember, we looked on the thing. If you really want a Bible, someone will give you one.
Yeah.
You don't need to pay for it. They'll
read it to you for free.
Fuck yeah. We had a whole thing about that I think it was a bonus episode.
Yeah.
If we continue to accept injustice, we are nothing but cowards, the book says. If we be cowards, then we ought to go home, kill our wives, then commit suicide.
Is that not cowardly?
That seems pretty cowardly.
Yeah.
Wow. The author, presumably Mitchell himself, declares on another page, what good is your life and my life if we have no protection? If I were a black woman and my men were such cowards that they would not try to defend me and our children, I would kill myself.
Okay.
They say people who study cults remember the discussions of suicide by Jim Jones, the madman of Jonestown. His people called him father. Slowly over a 5-year span, he let them in on a secret plan for coping with the downfall of the cult. In death, they could all achieve new life. And they talk about all that. The Yahwehs deny that they preach suicide. A Yahweh pamphlet actually says comparing Mitchell to Jones is a wicked suggestion. They have to address it in their own pamphlet.
Yeah.
It's a bad sign. Bad sign. November 27th, 1986, all this pressure, they keep, the papers, every newspaper in America is fucking calling them all the time. So they open doors to reporters on November 27th, 86. Come on in and look around. Show that isn't it fine?
It's not good.
They had 3 weeks to clean it all up and make it nice. And they say the secretive Yahweh religious sect linked to murders and accused of brainwashings and beatings opened its Temple of Love to reporters and allowed them to meet the group's leader who claims to be the Son of God.
Right.
Okay, he says, Yahweh ben Yahweh, quote, I thank my father Yahweh for the chance to meet all of you and to dispel some of the rumors about the nation of Yahweh. And he did a 2-hour tour, featured visits to the ice cream parlor, the grocery store, the sewing shop where members' white robes and pants are made, and to the laundry room where modern washers and dryers were going. They had on sale Yahweh comic books, T-shirts, booklets, pamphlets, posters, records. They said the workplaces that people had, there were small signs saying, "Life is better with Yahweh, come on up to Yahweh." You know, all this shit made it real nice. In a brief statement Mitchell made here, he told them that he's trying to establish his name in America and that his message will bring peace to the entire world.
Oh.
He said, "My message is of morality for all people." Wow.
What about that other part?
Of murdering people? And he said, "I must come to my people first of all, the so-called black people." And that's what he said. He even denies that the group is even racist.
But,
Not even racist. A spokeswoman, Judith Israel, read a litany of denials, charges made by authorities and ex-members against the Yahwehs, including murder, child abuse, premature pregnancy among its youth, and beatings. She denied that the members were suicidal or in any other way similar to the Jim Jones cult here. Among the Yahweh's difficulties are, of course, Robert Rozier, accused of 2 slayings, and also Yahweh's were linked by Miami police to 2 1981 slayings, including the beheading of an ex-member in Miami, although no charges have been filed.
None.
They just know there's a connection, but they don't know who did it, essentially. Opelika residents recently filed a lawsuit describing the sect as a racketeering organization. Yahweh's were also blamed by residents for arson in Delray Beach after a recruiting and fundraising drive in a black neighborhood this year. They also will not say how many members they have in Miami, but the temple's auditorium, they say, has hundreds of chairs, 7 television monitors, and several loudspeakers.
Great.
So it's a big setup here. December 8th, Yahweh's Give Up Complex.
Oh, they
that
can't
apartment
be there anymore?
complex. No, they said, fuck it. And Yahweh himself, there, Mitchell, is claiming that the 2 men that were there, we didn't kill them. You know who killed them?
No.
God killed them.
Oh, God did it.
Struck him down. That's
God took his head, took his ear. God did it.
God packs a 38. That's what God does.
He's not playing.
He doesn't play around. You better watch out. He packs some punch there. So they say the Yahweh sect agreed Sunday to withdraw its claim to 5 Opelika apartment buildings where police say 2 men were assassinated by a sect member. Opelika Commissioner George Lipkins met with sect leader Yahweh Ben Yahweh for 45 minutes Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
Lipkins said he's going to allow us to seek another buyer. The main thing he's concerned about is his $14,000. He bought an apartment complex for $14,000.
$14,000.
Wow. That is a shitty. Oh, it's a down payment. Okay.
Okay. And then he had a mortgage and he couldn't pay it or whatever.
He just wants his down payment back, is what he'll sell it. Roger Martin, one of the 3 landlords who turned over 5 buildings on Northwest 131st Street to the Yahwehs for $14,000 in down payment, confirmed the sale was off. After an hour-and-a-half sermon Sunday, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, I guess he didn't give any comment because his assistant said he needed time to be alone.
Yeah.
Martin received the down payment on October 27th. The next morning is when 6 busloads of Yahwehs occupied the complex and told residents to get out. And then the killing took place shortly after midnight that night. So, there's that. December 14th, 1986, the leader says, listen, all the Yahwehs adhere to laws. So
we do.
Stop looking into us. He says he teaches his disciples to follow the laws of the land. He claimed that his notoriously famous sect has often been victimized by violence. We're the actual victims.
We are suffering.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we're the aggressors, we say everyone else is the aggressor. When we attack, we say we're victims. This is all standard fair cult shit here.
Yeah.
So they say, we are living in another ruler's country and we are subject to the laws of America under the rulership of another people. We are what is this, a natier? Oh, I guess it's a misspelling here. We are a nation, but we are a subject nation.
Sure.
In fact, I teach that if we were in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, drive 29. I teach us better to obey the law, do a little better, set an example. It makes us the very best citizens America has.
Okay.
Yeah. There wouldn't be very much police work if everybody was like us. No drug busts. We don't smoke. We don't drink alcohol. We just murder and rape.
Yeah. I mean, who cares if you don't drink that?
Yeah. We just get kids locked up here. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they talk about Robert Rozier too, that he's still in deep shit. But so he's sitting there like, basically they're just saying like, oh, well, he must have, they're saying he's innocent. But if he's not innocent, it's not our fault. We didn't send him to do that.
Right.
At all. Yeah. He didn't listen to me. He says, Yahweh goes on to say, we are a people who practice peace. We've been the victim of violence on several occasions, but that has never been reported. They said, well, what are they? We'll report them. He cited several examples. Once, he said, a Riviera Beach woman sent attack dogs after Yahweh followers who kicked her dogs. And you kick my dogs, you'll be lucky if they're the only ones attacking you, because I will murder you for kicking my fucking
I'll fuck somebody up for kicking my dog.
You kick my dog. Well, you kick one of my dogs, you're probably in deeper shit with them. But
they don't need any help.
You don't know. But I'm going to be kicking your corpse after they're ripping you apart.
Yeah. My Dre won't bite anybody. But if you
Oscar
kick him,
either.
I'll bite you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oscar would be like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, what the
He'd look at you like, what the fuck, dude? Look how nice I am. I'm wagging my tail.
Dre would be beside himself. He would be like, so confused.
That's what it would be, confusion.
Like, what the fuck?
Sometimes I look at Oscar like that and I go, no one has ever been mean to you for 1 second. Ever. You've never. Like every human being you've ever come in contact with is wonderful to you. Like that's.
Everybody loves you.
Wow, what a life.
You fucking jerk.
You fucking jerk. So sent attack dogs. Her son became abusive and was knocked down by a Yahweh who was then arrested. So that's them getting attacked. You go to their property to try to recruit them for some horseshit cult. You kick their dogs, and then they come after you going, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the son wants to fight you, and then he gets beat up by these guys, and then they get arrested. That seems like you guys are assholes, and you should stay out of people's fucking business.
Yeah.
Stay out of my yard. There's another time, apparently, I guess Miami prosecutors, or authorities wouldn't prosecute a woman who slashed a Yahweh follower with a machete.
Oh.
In Delray Beach, he said, a group of drug addicts beat our women and children. Broken jaws, brain concussions, terrible lacerations.
Brain concussions?
Yeah, but no arrests were made.
Right.
He also said the homes that were subsequently firebombed were the homes of the people who helped us, who came to our aid. Not the people. We didn't bomb them. Those are really transgressions against us, even though we clearly did it.
More victimization.
Wow. He said his followers are learning self-sufficiency. So good for you. December 31st, by the way, here, 1986. The Yahwehs are going to buy more apartments here. Yahweh says, quote, we are currently in the process of buying up apartment buildings and making room for people who don't have room.
Making room for those who don't have it.
Those who don't have room. January 11th, 1987, Yahweh sect announces plans for stores.
Oh.
The Yahweh store.
Yeah. They got it at Yahweh.
They got it at Yahweh. So I guess he said that he's going to open a chain of Yahweh grocery stores in low-income neighborhoods. He said 20 stores will open during the next year and will offer quality groceries at competitive prices. Now he's a businessman.
Competitive prices.
He said in the ghetto and depressed areas. But he did not say where the stores would be located or when they would be open or any of that shit here. But, you know, there you go. He also said that he would offer a bridge between Black, Hispanic, and Anglo residents of Miami.
Oh.
You know, by killing all of the other ones who aren't him. January 12th, 87, Yahweh's gather in Miami. We're having a party, everybody. It's a fucking barbecue.
Gathering. Yeah.
Yep. The self-proclaimed son of God who leads the Yahweh religious sect denied preaching hate and explained some of his beliefs after an attorney representing a sect member accused of murder suggested an openness campaign. Robert Rozier's attorney said, hey, everyone thinks you're a weird cult. Yahweh spoke Saturday at a meeting attended by about 40 representatives of the sect from cities across the country. So these are like the leaders.
Yeah.
The little leadership meeting here. Wow, some team building. He told reporters and followers that fears raised by his writings are unfair since he's only been reporting history. And then they did that thing where they stand on something and they fall down and everyone catches them, because it's trustful. He also discussed the beliefs of the sect, which he said have been secret until now. Among those beliefs, he stated Yahweh ben Yahweh and all his followers are immortal, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, that's number one.
We never die.
Never die. The sect teaches clarity and benevolence, assist the feeble, and support the government of Yahweh.
Okay.
Now it's a government. Wow. Interesting. January 27th, 87, Miami Herald. The headline is Legal Brief on Yahweh's is Unfinished. I guess Opelika commissioners ordered a city attorney's report outlining the possible lawsuits against the Yahweh sect. Yeah. And the report hasn't happened, even though it's been 2.5 months.
Wow.
They said, when a report request has not been responded to after 2.5 months, whose interest is being served, the mayor asked. Clearly, it's not the people's interest. I'm disturbed and I'm astounded. Mm-hmm. The commissioner, Brian Hooton, said the attorney's office should have delivered the report within a month or so. Before the attorney's office can file a report, it needs more financial information from the city. One of the people trying to put the report together said, we're still gathering the materials. We ain't done shit. Somebody's going to have to go back and get a shitload of dimes is what they just said. Can't do it. It's not a simple case where we can file a suit and recover, said a second attorney. Apparently, they want to hold the Yahwehs liable for more than $35,000 the city spent to relocate the residents of this place.
Okay.
Some tenants complained scavengers and thieves stole their belongings after the city removed its special police detail following the evacuation. So they left it to get, just looted, basically. So they said the complete failure of the Opelika Police Department to protect tenants when the Yahwehs arrived. Now, a member, this is from February 5th, a member of the controversial Yahweh religious sect has already jailed on one murder count, has been charged with fatally stabbing 2 men whose bodies were both found with an ear slashed off.
2 more?
Robert Rozier is now... he faces trial next week for the Anthony Brown murder. Now they're indicting him on 2 more murders.
Oh, shit.
Raymond Kelly, 61, and Cecil Branch, 45. Kelly's body was discovered in his car parked outside a Dade bar, September 6th. Branch's body was found in his Miami home, September 21st. Both men were missing an ear.
Oh, shit.
So it's nice to leave your calling card, by the way. They're like the wet bandits or something here. They're going to know that they did all the houses and Daniel Stern's going to jail. Okay, the Miami Herald. This is fucking amazing. There's a report that came out here. I guess they're about the whole sect, and they say the study says, quote, Yahweh's deal in racism. No shit. They said sect poisons race relations, Anti-Defamation League claims. Members of the Miami-based Yahweh sect are a source of widespread concern because of their anti-Semitism and anti-white racism, the Anti-Defamation League said in a report. The Yahwehs have established a multi-million-dollar organization, blah, blah, blah. The Justin Finger, who is the Civil Rights Division, who's in the Civil Rights Division of the Defense Anti-Defamation League, said it tends to appeal to people who are frustrated and angry and dissatisfied with their lot in life. In the report, the ADL chairman Burton Levinson said the Yahwehs insist that blacks are the chosen people and that Jews are imposters who represent the synagogue of Satan. See what I mean? All this is so silly. Without all this, everybody can just get along. This is ridiculous.
Everybody's got to stop.
At the least, Levinson said, the Yahweh's activities tend to poison the bloodstream as far as intergroup relations are concerned. Calling whites or Jews devils is obviously not helpful to society. The report said Yahweh literature includes scriptural references used to support the sect's position against the white Jews, and blacks who refuse to follow their doctrines.
God damn it.
Levinson said neither the Yahweh's nor the Hebrew Israelite nation of Jerusalem, another sect that claims to trace its lineage to Abraham, is connected with black Jews in Israel. Thousands of black Jews of Ethiopian origin have been resettled in Israel and fully accepted as Jews, the report said. The Yahwehs were found in Miami in the late 1970s. They talk about blah, 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 blah. They talk about all the different shit they did. So February 16th, 1987, just various shits here about this. Dade County judge barred the Yahwehs from reassuming control of the apartment complex, saying that the actions by a group of individuals who take the law into their own hands cannot and will not be tolerated by a civilized society. A former group of tenants, many of whom had taken refuge at the Red Cross shelter after the shooting, sued the Temple of Love, claiming that the Yahwehs had spread a continuum of terror.
Yeah.
Wow. They said that Nariah Israel, Robert Rozier, might have been the one who pulled the trigger that night, says Barbara Malone, one of the attorneys representing the tenants, but the other 50 were there especially for the purpose of intimidation and driving people away from their homes. Wow. Every day, it seemed, there were new and startling revelations about the black people in white robes. Former Yahweh members complained to lawyers, police, and reporters of attempted brainwashing, of being held against their will. Someone sent prosecutors a Yahweh book discussing suicide in terms reminiscent of Jonestown. A former sect member who signed his court affidavit, John Doe No. 1, because he feared reprisals, described a meeting at which Yahweh ben Yahweh instructed a new member of the temple to, quote, bring back a white head in a paper bag.
A whole head.
Whole head. It's a big paper, like a grossry bag you'd need for that. You better double bag it.
Yeah, you can't do that in a liquor store bag.
No, God, it'll rip right through that. It'll hold a 40, but not a head. I'd say you'd need like a double bagger on that too for the seepage,
Probably.
They said the public rebukes continued last week when the Anti-Defamation League talked a bunch of shit about them. Interesting. The report quoted Yahweh ben Yahweh's father answering his son's claim to divinity. So this is Hulon Mitchell Sr.
Senior, yeah.
I was there when he was born, holding his mama's hand. You can't get closer to that, and he is not the Son of God. Said, he came from my balls and shot out his mama's crotch, is what he just said. I watched.
Jesus had nothing to do with it. I was screaming it, but it had nothing to do with it.
I remember not pulling out. Yeah. I was too lazy that night, a little drunk, and my timing was off. So... And his mama, shot him right out.
Yeah, all she did was say, oh, my God. That's all.
That's it. So that means he's the son of God. How many sons of God be walking around out there if that was the truth? So in page after page of newspaper accounts and court documents, the Opelika killings are always mentioned alongside the Yahwehs. But when Nariah Israel goes on trial, he will go alone. Because it's just him now. He was recently indicted by the grand jury for the murder of two other men, obviously, and his jury trial is about to start. His lawyer, Ellis Rubin. Now, think about this. His murder trial starts Tuesday. Okay? His lawyer, Ellis Rubin, is in jail on an unrelated charge of contempt of court.
Nice.
Hey, could we delay this? My lawyer's in jail.
My lawyer... does not listen to judges, by the way. He talks back a lot.
Wow.
Got himself locked up about it.
For sure. Rubin, who is one of the more flamboyant publicity-seeking lawyers in Miami, is also the lawyer for the Yahweh organization. So they bought him a lawyer. Yeah. So therefore, he will not say, I was sent there to do this and I was under threat for my life. He's going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. His son Mark is also a lawyer, contends there's no conflict in representing both the Yahwehs, who take no responsibility for the Opelika shootings, and a sect member who's charged with the shootings. He said, quote, Rozier was wearing white robes long before we came along.
Oh.
Okay.
What does that matter?
Beats me. So they talk about all this shit. They say that Yahweh here says I guess this is about Rozier. He's a product of the American society for 30 years. And if you were to impute,
I think impugn.
It's got to be. IMPUTE is not a word that I know. It might be a word, but I don't fucking know. I know impugn. I don't know that one. Impute?
Oh, it's a word.
What does it mean? I've never heard. I'm pretty good with vocabulary, and impute is one that went past me.
Assigned to something by interference from the value of the products or processes to which it contributes.
He used it right. If you were to impute the teachings of a people to the actions of this community, then the institutions of America stand condemned.
Huh.
Okay. Still, there has been changes at the Temple of Love since the shootings. Yahweh says he now screens new members. And now he's even more scared that the wrong people are going to come in and be police informants. He also said he's toned down the racial rhetoric, and he also grants more interviews.
Oh.
There is a videotaped interview going on, and they say a Yahweh woman takes notes. There are others in the room. They laugh at Yahweh ben Yahweh's jokes and listen admiringly as he expounds on the existence of UFOs or the intellectual brilliance of Yahweh children. At the Yahweh Education Center, people have witnessed the children reciting in unison the names of all the countries of the world and all the chemical elements.
I'm impressed with those two things.
That's impressive, yeah.
To remember
they said,
that.
We've been able to, who knows, I don't think they have normal school days and all that. I mean, if you keep kids in a warehouse and you can make them really do anything at that point.
And that's just the last pages of the encyclopedia and a periodic table on the wall.
Yeah, they just memorize shit. Yeah. I mean, they said, we've been able to accomplish something with our children that America's having problems with, and that's juvenile delinquency. We have none, says the leader of the cult.
We have adult delinquency.
Yeah. America has a problem with teen pregnancy. We have none. Well, that's not what a lot of people say. America has demonstrated a problem with children disrespecting all adults, including parents. We have none. Well, yeah, if you threaten to lop their heads off with a samurai sword, kids tend to fall in line, but I don't know if that's the healthiest way to go about it. Yahweh ben Yahweh is told of a question over the color of his eyes. They are blue, but he is asked for confirmation. He said, quote, "They're like the flames of fire, as the scriptures denote. My eyes fulfill Revelations, chapter 1, verses 13 through 15. So does my hair. So do my very fine brass feet."
Brass?
What the fuck are you talking about?
And it doesn't matter the color, they're of fire?
Of fire, like the flames of fire, as the scriptures denote. Yahweh ben Yahweh is asked where he intends to take the Temple of Love. His answer goes far beyond the sect. He said, "I intend to take the world to morality."
Okay.
All right, then. February 18th, 87. Okay, jailed lawyer Ellis Rubin was ordered back into court this morning, not in connection with his own 30-day contempt sentence. 30-day? What the fuck did he do in there? Did he take his dick out?
You gotta
shit on the.
Yeah, you gotta tell the judge to go fuck himself.
On the defense table? Did he punch a witness? What the fuck do you have to do to get 30 days? Wow. Dade County Judge Arthur Snyder ordered Rubin brought to his courtroom from the Dade County Stockade for a status conference on the case of the Yahweh sect member Robert Rozier, whose case was scheduled for trial this week. Snyder ordered Rubin to begin taking depositions at the Stockade for his defense of Rozier, his fucking lawyer. It's hard enough to do a defense when the client's in jail. Yeah. Like every lawyer says, when a client is in on no bail, it's so fucking hard to do to make a case while they're in there. Imagine the lawyers in jail too. What the fuck, man? Wow, that's insane. Rozier's charged with first-degree murder and that. Now, Rubin's son Mark yesterday filed with the U.S. Supreme Court a petition asking if they consider his father's contempt case. The U.S. Supreme Court's going to consider a 30-day contempt case. Wow. And in the meantime, delay the rest of the jail term. Wow. Rubin is in jail because Circuit Court Judge Sidney Shapiro found him in contempt for refusing to defend a first-degree murder defendant. Rubin said he objected because his client planned to commit perjury on the witness stand.
Oh.
Okay, that's a very gray area there, too.
Is that not
You can't suborn perjury as a lawyer. That goes against you're an officer of the court. You're an officer of the court, so you're not supposed to suborn perjury. But the whole dance is...
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is you're creating their narrative. So whether or not it's what you believe, it's what they're saying. It's what they're claiming. You have to represent that, right?
And a lot of murder clients, the lawyer will say, tell me what the fuck happened. And they'll tell them what happened. I killed the guy. I did this and this and that. The lawyer goes, okay, now we know all of that. How do we get in between all of that?
Right.
Because my job is to get you out of this.
Right. How do I put that story in between the laws of or the lines of legality? That's your job.
That's your job. So
maybe it was just impossible to do, and this guy's going to lie. And he's like, well, that's not what...
Or maybe he was court appointed and didn't want to do the case because he didn't feel like being court appointed, and so he made that excuse, and the judge didn't buy it and called him in contempt, because that also happens. Yeah. You're not allowed to get off a case unless the judge allows you to. Right. Otherwise, you are tied to that person. Period.
You got to make the case for him.
Yeah. You can't just abandon a client. That's not allowed in murder cases.
Yeah, you have to give them their due process, and you have to defend their rights. That's just what your job is.
Yep. A couple days later, February 20th, 87, this went from very few things here and there to every day there's Yahweh talk in the papers. Like this must have been the talk of Miami at this time.
Had to be, yeah.
So this is from the Miami Herald. Yahweh's call rift a mistake. Apparently they've been fighting with some neighbors here. Cooking an alley riles neighbors. A Yahweh leader, a code enforcement official, and a neighborhood activist each called Thursday for a peaceful coexistence between the sect and its Carver Ranch's neighbors, and agreed to hold a neighborhood meeting to settle any differences. Some people who live near the Yahweh Temple in the 5,000 block of Pembroke Road have complained that the Yahwehs have blocked an alley in the rear of their compound and continuously have barbecue fires that pollute the air. Constant fires. Perfect. A Broward County code enforcement officer complained that Yahweh members threatened him when he came near. Wow.
To tell him to put their fucking tire fire out?
To tell them that you're not allowed to do that. This is against code. And they said, fuck off. But a Yahweh leader said Thursday the group wishes to cooperate with code inspectors and to be a good neighbor to residents. Anyone who felt threatened was mistaken, he said. Totally mistaken. This is Gideon Israel, steward of the Pembroke Road congregation. He said there was no confrontation. The inspector who came out misunderstood the entire incident.
It's a misunderstanding.
He just misunderstood. He came up and people told him to fuck off or we'll cut your head off, and he took that as a negative, and it was weird. We were trying to be friendly.
We meant the head of the serpent. It's in the book.
It's all in the Bible, but he didn't get it. You know how it is. They said since May, county inspectors have asked a Broward County sheriff's deputy to accompany them when they've had to go near the Yahweh compound where members work, dine, and worship. Inspector Dan Herring filed an incident report that month alleging that members of the controversial religious group confronted him and told him to hand over his camera after he took snapshots of the code violations near the Yahweh property, which that is county property, that camera, so you're doing a lot right there. Counties near the Yahweh property, county zoning director said the inspector retreated to his car and radioed police. When the police arrived, the inspector drove away without incident. They said he felt intimidated and threatened. That's the spokesman there. When the Carver Ranch's Homeowners Association recently asked the county to clear the alley that runs parallel to and between Pembroke Road and Southwest 18th Street, county officials told residents they would need police protection to do the job.
Oh.
We don't care what the fuck you need. Just do it. I pay taxes. Fuck you. Well, we need this. Okay, well, go get it, motherfucker.
But needing protection from this sect is crazy.
That's what I mean. Go in there, knock that shit down, and kick those people the fuck out of there, or get protection and do your fucking job. Either way,
tree.
Taxes, me, pay to you.
Yeah,
fucking
for public safety.
Fix it, yeah. Wow. But now, Tornese said he believes the deputies won't be needed. I differ. On Thursday, Tornese met with Gideon Israel, who agreed to cooperate with any code enforcement. Meso Martin, president of the Carver Ranches Homeowners Association, noted that many of businesses, not just the Yahwehs, have blocked the alley behind Pembroke Road. He said residents of the unincorporated community are concerned about the code enforcement throughout their neighborhood, which is bounded by Pembroke Road. They said it isn't so much the Yahwehs, it's just a general complaint in the community. Now, March 3rd, 87, Yahweh sect pickets over mom's jailing.
Oh, now because we got a mom in jail. We don't want that. Yeah.
They apparently picketed the Superior Court at the Cape May County Airport on Monday. Why is the court at the airport?
I don't know.
What the fuck is that?
Is it an imported, or is it an immigrant person who is? Is there a court at
What's that? If they find him guilty, they put him on a plane and send him right back from the courtroom. Yeah, no.
Are there courts?
The bailiff takes him right to gate 27 and puts him on a fucking flight back wherever. What the hell is that about?
Are there courts at every airport?
The Superior Court?
I don't know.
That's crazy. I mean, not that I know of. There's a court in like stadiums in Philadelphia if you stab somebody at an Eagles game, but not. I never knew of an airport court.
I don't know.
I don't know. According to Nick Cage, there is no airport jail. So,
he did say
according to what he said, representatives of the restored Israel of Yahweh, based on Pine Avenue in McKee City, peacefully picketed at the entrance to the airport throughout the day, carrying signs charging insensitive judge and court threatens to put 10 and 12-year-olds in a detention home.
Okay.
Their protest stems from a matter before the Superior Court, who on Friday ordered the jailing of Nancy Burgum, the mother of 4 children, because she had not complied with a July order allowing her estranged husband visitation rights. Yeah, that's called kidnapping. Yeah, at that point,
that's
or whatever
alienation
it is.
Of parental rights.
She also told the court that she would not comply with the order. Well, yeah, if a judge gives you an order and you say no, you're going to end up in jail probably.
More than likely. Yeah.
That's what happens. Ask that fucking lawyer who, you know what I mean? He's sitting in jail trying to put together a murder case for Christ's
They told
sake.
him to do a job and he said no. What do you think he's going to do when he tells you to follow orders?
Yeah, court judge fucking orders. Bergen was jailed, quote, until such time that she can present evidence that is sufficient to convince the court that there will be compliance with the previous court order. In other words, all she has to do is comply with the order and let her out.
Let him see the kids.
Members of the sect alleged the children did not want to visit their father, Raymond Bergen. The court also found that Nancy Bergen had not complied with an order that she arranged mental health counseling for her children.
Okay.
Yeah. The judge stressed that the idea is not to give the children to one parent and turn them against the other. The intent is to see there is cooperation between the parents to keep the kids out of the parents' disputes. We just watched a documentary last night that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
And it was infuriating because nothing happened in this documentary. It was the weirdest thing. We don't know why we watched it. It was 2 parts, 2 hours of
why
the fuck did I watch that? Something about upstairs. These 2 kids barricade themselves in their room for 55 days because they don't want to be sent with their father because they said their father molested them. But there's it's way too much to get into right now. But it's crazy. It's a fucking crazy story that at the end I'm like, what happened? Nobody knows what happened. Why'd you make this movie? The picketers, who numbered about a dozen, contend that the judge's decision to jail this woman is based on religious persecution. No.
No.
Nope. Not at all. Happens all the time. Look at family court records.
Yeah,
it's
he
just
gets
the way
to see
it is.
him. Doesn't matter what you believe.
If he kept him from her, I would hope they'd put him in jail. That's what it happens here. Nancy and Raymond Bergen both live in Ocean City, but at separate addresses, according to the picketers. There was no answer Monday evening at the telephone number listed to that name in Ocean City. The judge ordered the children placed in their father's custody when he jailed her mother. He remanded the oldest child to the custody of a social service agency when the 16-year-old declined to reside temporarily with his father. That's why they were put in there, not 10 and 12-year-olds, a 16-year-old who doesn't want to go to his dad's house. Wow. March 24th, 1987, newspaper, USA Today.
Here we go.
Every hotel in the country's getting this. Black sect marks own Passover. They picked their own Passover.
Really?
Yeah. Passover starts at sundown, April 13th for most USA Jews, but not for Yahweh ben Yahweh's followers. Today is Passover.
Oh, today.
March 24th. We just pulled it out of our ass. Hundreds of followers from 16 countries and 1,200 U.S. cities will flock to the Temple of Love in Miami.
Is that right?
This is bonkers.
That's a huge amount of people.
Wow. Now, among this, they go through all the killings and shit that they're tied to. And then Yahweh says, I teach that I am the Almighty God. Well, that's convenient. Convenient for you to be the Almighty God, huh? So the trial for Robert is going to start here. It's scheduled to start Monday. We're on a Thursday, April 2nd, 1987. They had a hearing where they initially scheduled the trial and all that kind of thing. His trial was supposed to go on, but his lawyer being in jail fucked the whole thing up. Yeah. April 2nd, 1987, same day, this is from a cop. Quote, I was told to lie about the Yahweh case.
What was he told to lie about?
An Opelika cop says he was ordered to falsify records to cover up rotten police work and what's become known as the Yahweh situation in the city.
What did they fuck up?
He said, I just wish I wasn't there when the Yahweh shooting went down. Ever since then, the trouble started, says Officer C.K. Jones. Quote, a ruddy-faced motorcycle cop with a reputation for being good on the street and late to work. Jones gulps my Lanta from the bottle these days. They just made an 87 cop movie. That's a character in a script.
My ulcer. Yeah.
That's literally the introduction paragraph of the action in a screenplay introducing this cop character who's got like an ex-wife who's breaking his balls.
Yeah, I think that's just Die Hard.
Pretty much.
Oh, he's looking for aspirin, but close enough.
Yeah, close enough. They mixed a few of the tropes together. Jones is under investigation for an alleged string of sexual offenses.
What?
That's not good. The Opelika Police Department says he initiated the investigation to shut him up. Oh, he says that they initiated the investigation to shut him up. That's why they're saying he's sexual assaults. They just want to shut him up. According to Jones, according to him, superiors kept him from protecting residents of the Opelika tenements occupied by the Yahwehs. And after 2 men were killed there last October, he says he was ordered to rewrite a police report as a cover-up. Okay. The sergeant, Winston Lampkin, denies any cover-up. He calls Jones a, quote, future prisoner and a desperate man trying to cut a deal. Jones failed to make an arrest in return for sexual favors in the front seat of a squad car, Lampkin says.
In the front seat?
That's amazing.
Why don't you climb up here so I don't get locked in?
I mean, you don't have to go to jail tonight. Wow. He says, this is Jones, I'm innocent. I swear on my father's grave, and he's been dead for years. So it's not even a fake grave. He says he was placed on the midnight shift answering phones on Valentine's Day. He said, all these people know I can burn them. That's why they're scared. He says what he knows about the Yahweh situation can cost Opelika millions of dollars and a few police shields. 2 lawsuits are pending, one a civil rights case in federal court, the other a $5 million wrongful death case in the state court. Both lawsuits hinge on a noontime episode where there was the shooting. This was 12 hours before the double murder. It was the day after the Yahweh's first attempt to take over the complex. After making a small down payment, white-robed sect members carrying 6-foot staffs began to move to kick the 129 tenants out of the tenements. Sorry, Yahweh kicked in the door of apartment number 19. Denise Broussard, 34, says they carted off her furniture and ransacked her apartment. She said, we called and the police, and we couldn't get no response. So Anthony Brown, 28, got a gun and went out to the back alley. Shit. Anthony was off by himself and shot the gun in the back just to get the police's attention. He went out and lit a shot off shots fired. They got to come for that, right? And he succeeded. Jones was the first cop on the scene. Lampkin, who was his sergeant, a decorated sniper who served in Vietnam, arrived minutes later. 2 official versions of what followed exist. Both were written by Jones. Both were signed and approved by Lampkin. Both reports list identical case numbers, the same time, the same place. So he did rewrite the report for sure. They tell dramatically different stories. So do Jones and Lampkin. Jones says everyone inside those apartments was scared to death. You could see it in their eyes. Jones says the woman tenant pointed out one of the men who kicked in her door. He wanted to arrest him, he says, but Lampkin ordered him not to. Tenant Broussard said the 2 police officers argued. So the tenant backs up Jones here.
Right.
That officer Lampkin, this is from the tenant, that officer Lampkin hollered at Jones and told him everything was under control. And then Jones told Lampkin, this is not under control. Can't you see what's going on? Jones is the only one who tried to help us, and Lampkin told him not to. Okay. Oof, that's not good. John Riley, the mayor, was on the scene too. The mayor showed up?
Why?
Opelika? I don't know. He says Lampkin referred to the tenants as druggies and dope addicts, claiming that the Yahwehs would rid the apartments of drug dealers. The sergeant said, good, fuck them. Let them, fuck them. I'm tired of coming here.
Get the Yahwehs in there.
Yep, I'm tired of coming here and dealing with these people. Wow. That's what he said. I'm completely abdicating my responsibilities as a police officer. Fuck them. Yeah. Wow, that's disgusting. Jones wanted to make some arrests, and Lampkin didn't want him to. That's the mayor saying that, who was there, by the way. The Sergeant Lampkin, even though a cop, the mayor, and several tenants all have the exact same story, he has a different story. He said, that's sheer garbage. Sheer garbage. He said, he denies arguing with Jones. He said, I don't argue with subordinates. Okay. Well, if they say they're not doing what you told them to, then you would argue with them, wouldn't you? Lampkin also denies making derogatory remarks about the tenants. He knew some of them well. In the early 80s, in fact, he managed the very same apartments. Broussard said that's why he got all those bad feelings toward us, the tenant said. Sure. He knows us and hates us. Yeah. Jones says Lampkin ordered him at the scene not to file a report. When he returned to the station, he wrote one anyway. It didn't say much. In 49 words, Jones wrote that the Yahwehs had proper eviction papers, information given by supervisor, he wrote. So that's just, he said, basically, this isn't my words. Yeah, this is what I was told to put by my supervisor. Hours later, just after midnight, a man knocked on the door of one of the apartments and said he'd been in a car accident. Anthony Brown and Rudolph Broussard came out to see what was going on, and that's when they were shot. That's how they shot him. They called him out for something like that. Pussies. The assassin caught him and killed him as he begged for mercy when he ran. That night,
let it happen.
They let it happen. That night, Metro Police found Robert Rozier hiding in the bushes and charged him with the killings. They had no idea if he did it or not. They just found him in the bushes. Yeah. No. Rozier, Jones says, was one of the men he wanted to arrest for kicking in the door the day before. Sometime after the slayings, the time is uncertain, Jones wrote a second report about the initial confrontation. He says Lampkin and Commander Otis Davis ordered him to write it. He dated it exactly as he had the first report, 11:31 a.m., October 29th. In 255 words, it depicts the woman tenant as a victim who couldn't identify the men who kicked in the door. It makes no mention of any proper eviction papers. It says that as many as 70 Yahwehs confronted the tenants. And unlike the first report, it says that the Yahwehs were ordered to leave. Neither report mentions anything about the Yahwehs putting furniture in a van. All this, Jones says, is an attempt to get the police department off the hook to avoid responsibility for what happened. It was written, says former Mayor Riley, quote, to cover the police's ass. Period. He said, just because the sergeant signs it, that doesn't mean it's carved in stone.
Right.
Lampkin says Jones's first report was rejected and it was proper for him to order Jones to rewrite it. Jones says that's nonsense. And he said, did Commander Otis Davis reject the report? And Davis won't say. Chief Floyd Reeves won't say either, and he won't let Davis be interviewed, the commander. Since the shooting, Jones has found himself in a heap of trouble. Someone, it appears, complained that he took advantage of female suspects. Opelika police investigated. They passed on information to Ray Havens, chief investigator for the Dade State Attorney. No charges have been filed. We just want to be as thorough as we can be, said Havens. We're just fucking with this guy. Lampkin said Jones is looking at hard time. He says things would have turned out better if the Yahwehs had taken over the apartment. So he's saying what the guy said is true. He's fucking, this guy's an asshole. He said that would take care of the drug problems here. And besides, he says, the two murdered men were, quote, dope dealing lowlives who asked for it.
They were looking for trouble.
Okay. Fire him now.
Yeah.
After that goes in the paper, if he doesn't get fired the next fucking day, there's nothing.
Crazy.
That's insane.
You
can't say a murder victim, he deserved it. He was asking for it. How the fuck are you supposed to? That's poisoning the jury pool too.
It's also saying that somebody doesn't have the same rights as another person, regardless.
Yeah, that's wild. That's fucking wild. May 17th, 87. We'll finish up here. Terror Before Dawn, firebombing a nightmarish memory from the Palm Beach Post here. Yahweh's suspected but can't be found. These are the Delray Beach bombings here. Police Sergeant Robert Brand says he thinks he knows who threw 24 Molotov cocktails a year ago in a fiery assault that left 2 children severely burned and 4 homes burned.
24 Molotov cocktails?
Holy
a case.
Shit. A case. When Randy Wagstaff was telling on people, they only threw 1 into his apartment. And it made a fucking mess. 24. Brand can show who bought the 1-quart clear glass bottles used in the May 20th, 86 attack. He has 2 witnesses who say they saw the attackers. He even has a report that shows that less than 2 hours before the attack at Southwest 14th Avenue, a policeman questioned people who are now the prime suspects. Okay, his problem is that he can't prove it. That's the problem. Or he can't find it. He can't find them. I'm sorry. Evidence implicates members of the close-knit Hebrew Israelites and can't find them. Brand says he believes members of the group firebombed the predominantly black neighborhood in retaliation for an attack on Yahweh's visiting on a nearby street, he said. Brand is looking only for a handful of group members. He said he has no evidence that the sect or its leadership ordered the firebombings. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Seems like up their alley, yeah.
Seems like a pretty good odds on that one. Through an attorney and spokesman, the organization repeatedly has denied anything to do with the attack. Nevertheless, some residents in the neighborhood say they believe the Yahwehs are to blame for the 2:30 a.m. bombing. That's nice. Kids are sleeping and stuff.
2:30 in the morning.
Wow. 2 children were severely burned and spent 2 weeks in the hospital. Jesus. That's brutal.
Yeah.
3 other residents were treated for injuries. 4 families were left temporarily homeless. Firefighters arrived and found 4 homes in flames. Arsonists threw 24 1-quart bottles filled with a mixture of gasoline and kerosene. Only half of them exploded.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
The front apartment of a duplex at 39 Southwest 14th Avenue was hardest hit. 2 firebombs exploded in a front bedroom where 9-month-old Marva Hendricks and her 12-year-old sister Chanel slept. The infant suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns over 25% of her body. That poor kid. After a bomb exploded above her crib, spreading a blanket of flames over the child and the floor. Oh, this poor child. Jesus Christ. Wow.
What the fuck?
That's fucking horrific. Chanel's right side was burned. She and her sister remained in the hospital 2 weeks. A 3rd child, Gretchenelle, 15, was sleeping in another room of the apartment. She was treated for smoke inhalation. Her parents, Catherine and Marvin Hendricks, were awakened by the attack and rushed the children from the house. The next day, the 10-member Bonaby family fled as flames spread throughout their single-family home.
Oh, boy.
4 other houses along the quiet dead-end street were hit. 2 of them were damaged and 2 were unscathed. The arsonist bypassed a house that was vacant, fire department officials said. So it was very targeted.
Yeah.
The unexploded bottles, rags still stuffed in the necks, were scattered throughout the block of modest homes just east of I-95. Now, the bottles that Brand discovered were made by Owens Corning Glass Company and sold to a Miami distributor. Identification numbers on the bottles, the distributor's records show, matched those empty bottles sold to the Temple of Love.
Unbelievable.
They
marked them specifically. You get a bottle and it has an identifier on it?
Yeah. Well, They can do that with garbage bags.
Yeah.
They can find the batch it's from and shit.
They should have serial numbers, garbage bags, as much as people use those.
No shit. But apparently these are the bottles that they sell products in, including a grape soda.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they sell it in. For 5 years, Yahweh's had made weekend visits to Delray's predominantly black neighborhoods to solicit donations, sell homemade products, and ask residents to join them as they try to quote, be free from white America, according to the group's leaflets. Residents had accepted the white-robed Yahwehs who traveled in white buses with Yahweh painted in large black letters on the side.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, May 18th now, this is after this here. Shortly before 8:30 p.m., a woman member of the group and a 13-year-old girl who lived in the neighborhood argued in the 100 block of Southwest 14th Avenue. I love this 13-year-old already for arguing. Get the fuck away from me with this bullshit. This is 1 block south of the homes that were bombed. Okay. The woman accused the girl of stealing a bottle of body oil. The woman hit the girl in the head with a stick, according to police records.
Christ.
Jesus. Other residents came to the girl's defense. A street brawl broke out. Yeah, if you hit a 13-year-old in the neighborhood, probably going to be a street brawl. And a 17-year-old Yahweh member was knocked unconscious after he was hit in the face with a board. This is sticks, boards. This is fun. 2 days later, a van and a car drove onto the street, 1 block north of where the fight occurred. Police believe the men were there to avenge the youth's beating, but they turned north instead of south and attacked the wrong block, police said.
Okay.
2 men who were driving south on Southwest 14th Avenue shortly before the attack told investigators they saw what they thought were police with flashlights getting out of the van and walking behind a house. The 2 men thought the van's occupants were police tactical team members who patrol nearby neighborhoods and often use a van when raiding drug houses. Mm-hmm. The descriptions given by the 2 men were the first solid leads in the case, Brand said. Less than 2 hours before the firebombing, Delray police had checked a light-colored van matching the witness's description, parked 10 blocks from the scene of the attack. An officer briefly questioned the van occupants, who told them the vehicle had broken down, according to police records. The officer took down a license plate number of the van and the names of the occupants. The van was registered to a man who belonged to the Yahweh sect.
Uh-oh.
Others in the van also may have been Yahweh members. Well, pretty good odds on that.
Probably.
After the firebombing, police stepped up surveillance of the Yahwehs who came to the city less regularly, then stopped coming a few months later. Okay. Brand went to the Yahweh Temple of Love on 73rd Street in Miami a few days after the firebombing to ask for help in identifying the man who hit Temple member Michael Israel with a board. Mm-hmm. So that's how they're going to get him in.
Yeah.
Michael Israel was in a wheelchair at the time of the interview and said he couldn't identify the man who hit him. About a week later, we identified a suspect and prepared a photo lineup for Michael Israel to look at. But Michael Israel, who uses the same name as everybody else, never showed up at the Delray police station. Judith Israel told police that Michael Israel couldn't get a ride to the station. So during the interview in Miami, Brand asked Yahweh officials if he could speak to 2 men he believed were in the van the night of the firebombing. Yahweh members told police that they did not know where the men were or how to contact them. Huh. No fucking clue. Now, they're talking about Rozier's trial. They're saying he's not being cooperative at all and refuses to comment, Robert Rozier, on anything. He said if he's convicted, this is the Brand guy, if he's convicted, there's a good chance he might want to be a little more cooperative. Without someone coming forward, it's going to be difficult to make an arrest, but I'm confident that sooner or later something's going to happen. This is an open case and far from being a dead case.
So if they convict him, though, are they hoping to make a deal with him upon conviction?
Well, he has 2 other things.
Okay.
And also in sentencing, you can make a deal as far as, well, if you tell us shit, we'll send you to this place instead of that place. And you'll get, a little better treatment in jail. There's a lot of shit they could promise when it comes to that kind of shit. So Sect Attorney Rubin said the organization's not responsible for the fire bombings or the Opelika slings. That's nice. He's out of jail and giving statements.
Yeah,
this guy. Nice. If Nariah Israel is found guilty of murder, he will be excommunicated, the attorney said.
Oh.
I don't think that would be a good idea to excommunicate a guy who's got a shitload of information about who told him to kill people.
Right. Who's convicted of murder for you is not good.
You're going to keep that cat close. That's why when mob guys go to jail, other mob guys take care of their families. Yeah. So they won't fucking say anything. There's a reason for that. Hey, we'll take care of your family on the outside. But the Yahwehs shouldn't be admonished if one member did wrong on his own, Rubin said. You don't indict the Catholic Church with the Pope if a member of the public has strayed. Mm-hmm. True, but also the Pope doesn't have all of the Catholics living under one roof and telling them exactly how to eat, shit, and breathe. So a little bit different. All right, we will leave it there.
Hey.
With the defense attorney, Ellis Rubin, asking to be let off the case.
He wants out of this too.
He wants out. He's like, I'm done with this shit. This is crazy. I don't like this at all. So he's asking to be out of this case, and
he's risking going back to jail for another 30-day bid.
He's going to do his whole time in 30-day fucking increments here. So there you go. There is Robert Rozier Part 2. Kind of a setup episode for a whole lot of shit that's going to go on after this, because there's a lot more murders and a whole lot more shit going on with Robert Rozier. And this is more to give you here is the foundation of everything. Mm-hmm. Where everybody was, what everybody's doing, who's in charge, what the cops are up to, how the city is not exactly looking to get rid of this Yahweh shit, even though they should. It's weird as fuck. So we'll get into all of that and more next week. If you enjoy this show at all, get on whatever app you're on and give us 5 stars. It helps a ton.
Yeah.
So do that. Also, listen to our other 2 shows, Your Stupid Opinions, which is just fucking hilarious, and also Small Town Murder, which you can also watch on Netflix if you want. So check those out and keep hanging out with us. Do that. Follow on social media at Crime and Sports. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get all of your merchandise, tons of stuff. New shirts are up right now. We have the Cult of the Octopus from last week. That shirt is up. It's pretty cool. Also, a Stupid as Cyclical shirt with a winding, trippy-looking thing. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So check those out. Not only that, get yourself Patreon, everybody. Mm-hmm. My God, what are you doing?
Right.
Patreon.com/crime in sports, just like this show. All you have to do is be $5 a month or above, and we're going to give you your money's worth. That's one thing we are all about. You're going to get everything we put out. First of all, as soon as you subscribe, you are going to get almost 400 back bonus episodes. Right. That is a lot to binge. It's like a whole other feed. You're going to get all of that immediately upon subscription. Then you get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all.
Right.
This week for Crime and Sports, we are going to dip back into the theme park disasters. Because they're so much fun, and it's been a few months, and we need another one of those. It's been like the holidays was the last time we did it. We need some summer fun going on, especially with people going to theme parks now. And it's perfect timing for that. And then for Small Town Murder, it's your choice. It's a listener's choice.
Here we go.
There's a poll up on Patreon, either The Crash, the Mackenzie Shrilla thing where she killed her boyfriend and the other Davion kid and ran him into the wall going 100 miles an hour and all that. And it's just a nightmare of a person, of a human being. Well, her family's worse, but anyway.
Yeah, they created this monster.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Either that or Corey Richins Part 3, because there's a lot to talk about her sentencing. First of all, her horseshit allocution that she made. And on top of that, all of the actual statements from the kids. Basically, apparently everything she said in the beginning about what happened that night was a complete lie.
False,
and the kids call her out on it, and it's fucking amazing.
Who created that monster?
You can hear exactly what a piece of shit she is. Either way, we'll do the next one the next time. So get on the poll, see what you want to hear this week. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of that and more. And the more is you also get all of our shows, Crime in Sports, Small Town Murder, Your Stupid Opinions, all ad-free. with your Patreon. My God, can it get any more? Yes, it can, because you also get a shout-out.
Hey.
When is that? Right goddamn now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever kick our dogs or firebomb our houses. Please hit me with them right goddamn now.
This week, executive producer Gary Howard in Brownsville, Tennessee.
Gary!
Evidently, that's where Tina Turner was born. I didn't know that.
Hey, congrats on the new grandkid, too, Gary. Gorgeous. Look at you. Enjoy.
Nice. Sharon Pietragallo? Pietragallo. That's a tough name to say. David Riggs. I know him. Great guy.
Thank you, David Riggs.
Deanne Price. She put her pup Dobby down. That's a brutal day. No good.
That sucks.
Thank you all so much for being a part of this. We appreciate it. Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Penny Boyce. Happy Hours in Eagle Mountain, Utah. Where the fuck that is. Janice Hill, Casey Mihalik. Justin Glenn, Thomas Sr., Demented, with no last name. I think that's my grandmother. Spencer M., Katie Coe, Lee Shell, Shannon Thomas, Margie Holly or Hale? I believe it's Hale. I don't know. Misty Seagal, perhaps. Christopher Metz, Jeff Kroll, Patrick Weir, Megan with no last name, Ellie Metler. Yes, Jonathan Shepard, Kristen Kindle, Stephen Cooley, Catherine C., Kiara Holland, Stacy Howell, Lauren Cobb, Ryan Miller, Jennifer Lanciani, Nicole Ventura, Kennedy Anderson, Melanie Landers, TVO, Gurman with no last name, Casey Guy, Michelle with no last name, Nikki B, Michelle M, Douglas Daniels, Randall Busby, Sassy One, Heidi Hart, Casey, no, that's Christine with no last name, Kristen Nordland, Nick Healy, Molly Langston, Laura Galloway, Stephen with no last name, Nikki Oss, Sean with no last name, Jenna Griffith, Madeline Herr, Tiffany Lowe, Haley Overall, Michelle, no, that's Michael, Michael Handy, and Amber Huffman Bray, Mike Tillery, Karen Whitcop, Carissa with no last name, Tyler Whalen, Wallen. No, it's Tyler Wallen. That sounds like Morgan's brother, but it's spelled way different. Good for you, Tyler. Lizzie Norton, Sherry Starlin, Dawn Pfeiffer, Delia Hunt. That's probably what it is. Mary with no last name. Mark with no last name. Sally Piper. Dave DePipa. Jessica Harris. Dulce Hall. Nicole McDonald. Kyle Landry. Melissa Hesselgesser. Elsa Williams. Gabriella Howard. Michael Rabanus. Mikhail, perhaps. Winona Kashal, Allen with no last name. Alva Hind, Keith Greenwald, Katrina Gonzalez, Alexa with no last name. Sierra Burcham, Catherine Vogel, Andra McCowan, CJM 15, that's easy. Christine Hansen, Anina. Wow, with 2 eyes. Nick Hallinger, Christy Owens, Benjamin Freeman, Eric C., Melissa Vaughn, Stacy Garrett Purcella, Amber with no last name, Shell Soberg, Emily M., Mr. Moose, Village 5000, Devin Costello, Adam Brasher, Angela Foley, Rhiannon DePiro, Kate with no last name, Becca Brown, Bonnie Hafner, Theodore, and Eleanor Desmore. How do all of your names rhyme? Kelly with no last name, Ellie Gold, Chrissy with no last name, Logan Plummer, Kirsten Riley, Jake Cofield, Aaron German, Zion Nichols, Kristen Garrett, Maria with no last name, AJ Reuter, John Jansen, Jonna with no last name, April Lee, Alice DeHeer, Ellie Hunt, Stephanie Sheehan, Sarah Bailey, Jonna with no last name, Dennis Kasich Jr., Eleonora Serrano, and all of our patrons. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much, everybody. Honestly, you fantastic bastards. We appreciate all that you do for us every goddamn week. Thank you. Just thank you for doing all this. You want to find us on social media? Real easy to do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com, newly redesigned shutupandgivememurder.com, has links to everywhere you want to go. So do that. Keep coming back and seeing us each and every week. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.